¿Por qué? UFC 244, Diaz pulling out, maybe. Let's talk MMA.
That's why I fucked your bitch, you fat motherfucker. West side, bad boy killers. You know who the realest is, niggas. We bringing to First off, fuck your.
What is up, my MMA brothers and sisters? Welcome to a quick little episode. I have been trying to actually do some actual fights, some reactions to lead up to the next UFC 244, Nate Diaz versus Masvidal. That's obviously the biggest fight right now. And then yesterday I hear about Nate Diaz pulling out and all of that. So let's talk about this. Now, you guys kind of hear, see, perspective, different type of thing. So I want to hear what you guys think about what's going to happen and that type of thing. But let's try to break this down. Now, I want to start with the tweet that Diaz actually put up, right? Because a lot of things that he said on there actually, for me, gives me a lot of info of what's happening, why he's pulling out, and what might happen. So let's break that down, and then we can kind of go from there. So you guys saw the tweet. Maybe I'll pull it up right here so you guys can see it too. But I highlighted a few areas that I found were most important. So at the end of the day, they're basically saying that that he tested with elevated levels, not saying what, and that they say might be from some tainted supplements, which we've seen a whole line of fighters get caught with it. Oh, it's a tainted supplement from GNC or whatever the heck it is, and then they're good, right? They're not cheaters. It was just tainted. It was an accident. Blah blah blah. As far as that, so the way it was before is USADA used to, when they would find something like this, they would blast it, right? They would blast it out there. Everybody would be like, oh shit, this guy's a freaking cheater. And then the fighter would be, trying to defend himself right off the bat. And it was just kind of a mess. And they kind of changed it to where they'll tell the fighter, they won't blast it, but they'll tell the fighter, but they're usually going to want to test, 2-3 more samples or whatever to confirm. And that's when they blast it all over the place, right? So Diaz is basically saying, look, I'm fucking clean to begin with. And if y'all are telling me that there's elevated levels and that something's basically going to come up in the future, it's basically fucking fight week. The fight's next week. And usually from what I hear of this type of stuff, these tests, it's not going to happen in a week. So they're not going to have a final answer about this to clear the air. And so I'm sure Nate is like, I'm not going to go next week, fight this fight with this lingering above this. And then let's say he wins. And then, it came up that he's, suspended for this, that, or the other, or, this stuff comes out after. But let me keep reading because we're going to get to that. So as far as the tainted supplements part and them telling him, it's probably that, don't worry about it. Diaz is not playing that game, and that's why he's the realist. Okay, let's keep going. So he says he calls false because he's natural, he's a vegetarian, all that kind of stuff. So, and he says, so until UFC, USADA, or whoever is fucking with me fixes it, I won't be competing. So a little bit, I already kind of mentioned that he's not gonna fight, he's not gonna go to next week, and then this shit just keeps going out. He's basically saying, squash this shit, quit fucking with me, and we'll move forward. We'll do the fight. So, and that's probably one of the main things we got to talk about here. The fight's not canceled officially. Diaz isn't suspended officially. But what did happen is Nate is pulling out and saying, fuck you guys. You're not going to be fucking with me on this shit. I ain't going to fight. So until you fix your shit and this gets cleared up, then we can rock and roll. But it's a week away. That's what's making this shit crazy. Okay, let's keep going. I'm not going to play their game and try and hide it to keep quiet as they suggested. Again, USADA basically is telling Nate, hey, we found this. We need to do more tests. It's probably just tainted supplements like these other people. No big deal. And Nate's like, fuck that shit. I'm not going to fucking do any of that. I'm going to let the whole wide world know that you guys think that I'm on some shit. I'm calling y'all out now, and I ain't even gonna fight. Fuck your shit. So that's that. Let's keep going. He's not a cheater, so on and so forth. I don't give a fuck about some money over my dignity and my legacy. He's never really talked about his legacy. And so what really shows that line alone makes me even a bigger fan. He does care about his legacy. That's why when he gets into these wars, that motherfucker don't quit. He just keeps fucking going because he cares about his career. He cares about not being caught up with steroids or any of these type of things. He's a healthy athlete. So yeah, that was just more important for me as like a fan of his, and for anyone who isn't a fan or whatever is watching this motherfucker cares, and he don't care about the money. Because let's tell the truth here. Most fighters under this type of circumstance, if they tell him, you know what, this is going on, but hey, just have your fight, which means you get paid, and we'll figure it out after. Most fighters will go, yeah, they got to get paid. Do the fight, and then after this shit comes up, that usually tarnishes the fight that they possibly won, and it's just, it's unfortunate is really what it is, right? Let's keep going. I'm not staying quiet and figuring it out after the fight. That's cheating. So if you're already calling me a cheater, if I'm Nate, if you're already calling me a cheater, a possible cheater, and you still want me to fight, that's cheating. I'm not doing that. You guys need to clear this shit up because I'm not a cheater. And once that's clear and told to the world, then I'll fight. But I'm not going to fucking play this game. Fucking badass. All right. So as far as his tweet, that's that. That's kind of what I see is what he's saying. And my biggest thing is because I got a lot of my friends hitting me up and all of this. Like, dude, what are the chances of it actually still happening? From 1 to 10, I basically gave a 4. I don't think it's a 50-50. I think it's more likely it's not going to happen. Again, because if it's USADA and if they do need to clear this up, they need to do those additional tests, blah, 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 blah. I truly feel Dana needs to make that phone call, make the call, or USADA needs, to have USADA be like, yo, this is what it is. He's good or something to basically make it seem as if Nate is good. And there's probably not a problem. They're just doing their due diligence, and hopefully that's enough for Nate to be like, all right, that's cool. Let's rock. But I don't know. That seems like too much for Dana / USADA to do to make this fight happen. But they kind of, I'm sure they want this fight to happen. Here's another thing. Just conspiracy talk. We don't know what's going on either, right? In the background, there's always been some shady shit that kind of happens, and we just kind of go with the flow, but we try to dig and whatever. And my point being with this is, I'm going to guess they want Masvidal to win. Like, if they were going to choose, like, who would we prefer? It's Masvidal. So is this something to get Nate off his game? Probably not expecting that he'd pull out. Is it something to where, at the end of the day, if Masvidal wins, he wants to keep fighting. He'll fight again next month. He wants the belt. He wants to keep going. So he's going to continue to be an employee and continue to be a guy that could make money with UFC. Nate could win, and who knows when we'll see him again. It's, the money's got to be right. He's a little harder to negotiate with. So I think it's obvious they want Masvidal to fight. And so that's just conspiracy talk. Tell me what you guys think. What might be going on in the background? All right, let's take this a step further. If the fight doesn't happen or Nate doesn't fight, I'm sure Masvidal's still down, which Masvidal said, basically getting Nate's back, this is the cleanest motherfucker. Like, basically just saying, hey, I'm the realest, I'm the baddest motherfucker, but he's the cleanest motherfucker. So respect. Even John McCarthy, all hail the honest Nate. We got the godfather John McCarthy backing him. So this is a very different situation compared to most people, right? Most people were their tainted supplements or whatever else. So if it doesn't happen, which I hate even thinking about it, talking about it right now, because I'm hoping today, tomorrow, like you have to figure on Saturday when they do tomorrow, when they do the Damian Maia event and Ben Askren, they're gonna have the promos, hyping up next week. You're gonna hype up a fight that technically is not happening because the guy literally said he's not showing up. So today, something needs to happen, and depending on what happens, maybe we can chat about it a little bit more. But okay, who's the other bad motherfucker? I heard people say Cowboy, which he's already trying to make his way down to 155, but he fought at 170, and it'd be fun. But guess what? That fight already happened. Masvidal knocked him the fuck out. So, nah, as far as what I think. Conor, he just said, I think yesterday, that he's planning out in January, and he's rematching. He wants to rematch Khabib / Nate. Is that something? Is that a conspiracy? Is Nate kind of like, are they trying to push Nate out to that one instead? Because obviously, if he loses to Masvidal, then the Conor fight really loses luster, right? That's conspiracy talk. I don't know. You guys tell me what you think. Gaethje, he's at 155. I would consider him a bad motherfucker for sure. Look at the way he fights. But it just doesn't make sense. So it's kind of like just, in a way, it's like, oh, yeah, I guess, do it. But he's one of those guys that's like, I don't fight unless I have a camp. This fight doesn't really mean much. It's like you're going up anyways and coming back down, so you might as well try. So I don't know. I don't really want to think about it, but I also want to make myself feel better if there's still kind of a good fight that's going to happen. But that's all I got for now. I need to get this off my chest for sure. This is a hot topic in so many different ways. So you guys tell me, is Nate clean or not? What do you think? Well, here's a little other thing. Literally little. Picogram little. John Jones even threw it out there of like, dude, I feel you. Obviously, he's been in the same situation, this and that. But nowadays, if they're testing for picograms and saying, oh, we found this fucking little bit of something, like, this is just getting insane, man. Let these guys fight. And I was hoping that after the John Jones thing, maybe they would just do different rules. Like, hey, if it's these type of drugs, the level has to be above this or something like that. I'm glad your science is fucking super accurate to the smallest of things, but y'all are fucking up the game. You're messing up one of the best fights we were looking forward to. Anyways, let me know what you guys think. Thank you guys. Hit that like, punch the shit out of it, subscribe. Peace.